It's phrasal verb time. Phrasal verbs are like language acrobats, combining simple words to create powerful expressions. They seamlessly blend simple words, propelling your expressions to new heights, enabling you to speak like a native in your daily English conversations. Here are 308 phrasal verbs split up into 9 different topics to help you learn and use them effortlessly in various everyday situations. Wipe down. Wipe down. Meaning, to clean a surface by rubbing it with a cloth or sponge. To clean a surface by rubbing it with a cloth or sponge. She used a damp cloth to wipe down the dusty bookshelf, revealing its original shine. She used a damp cloth to wipe down the dusty bookshelf, revealing its original shine. Dust off. Dust off. Meaning, to remove dust from something. To remove dust from something. I need to dust off these old books before putting them on the shelf. I need to dust off these old books before putting them on the shelf. Sweep up. Sweep up. Meaning, to clean by sweeping dirt or debris into a pile. To clean by sweeping dirt or debris into a pile. She grabbed a broom and started to sweep up the leaves that had gathered on the front porch. She grabbed a broom and started to sweep up the leaves that had gathered on the front porch. Mop up. Mop up. Meaning, to clean a floor using a mop. To clean a floor using a mop. After the kids spilled juice all over the kitchen floor, she had to mop up the sticky mess. After the kids spilled juice all over the kitchen floor, she had to mop up the sticky mess. Vacuum up. Vacuum up. Meaning, to clean by using a vacuum cleaner to remove dirt and dust. To clean by using a vacuum cleaner to remove dirt and dust. He decided to vacuum up the pet hair from the couch before his guests arrived. He decided to vacuum up the pet hair from the couch before his guests arrived. Scrub down. Scrub down. Meaning, to clean something thoroughly by scrubbing. To clean something thoroughly by scrubbing. They decided to scrub down the patio furniture to prepare it for the summer season. They decided to scrub down the patio furniture to prepare it for the summer season. Rinse off. Rinse off. Meaning, to remove dirt or soap by spraying or pouring water over something. To remove dirt or soap by spraying or pouring water over something. She used a hose to rinse off the mud from her shoes after walking through the wet garden. She used a hose to rinse off the mud from her shoes after walking through the wet garden. Polish up. Polish up. Meaning, to make something shine by polishing or buffing it. To make something shine by polishing or buffing it. He wanted to impress his date, so he took extra time to polish up his car until it shone like new. He wanted to impress his date, so he took extra time to polish up his car until it shone like new. Sponge off. Sponge off. Meaning, to clean a surface with a sponge or cloth. To clean a surface with a sponge or cloth. They decided to sponge off the dusty car windshield to improve visibility for their road trip. They decided to sponge off the dusty car windshield to improve visibility for their road trip. Dab at. Dab at. Meaning, to clean or pat something gently with a cloth or tissue. To clean or pat something gently with a cloth or tissue. He noticed a smudge on his glasses and used a microfiber cloth to dab at it until it was completely clean. He noticed a smudge on his glasses and used a microfiber cloth to dab at it until it was completely clean. Suck up. Suck up. Meaning, to remove liquid or dirt using a vacuum cleaner. To remove liquid or dirt using a vacuum cleaner. The powerful vacuum cleaner was able to suck up even the tiniest crumbs from the carpet. The powerful vacuum cleaner was able to suck up even the tiniest crumbs from the carpet. Brush off. Brush off. Meaning, to remove dirt or dust by brushing it away. To remove dirt or dust by brushing it away. After gardening, he had to brush off the dirt from his clothes and shoes before going inside the house. After gardening, he had to brush off the dirt from his clothes and shoes before going inside the house. Damp down. Damp down. Meaning, to make something slightly wet to clean or to reduce dust. To make something slightly wet to clean or to reduce dust. She used a wet mop to damp down the wooden floor before beginning the cleaning process. She used a wet mop to damp down the wooden floor before beginning the cleaning process. Wash up. Wash up. Meaning, to clean dishes or utensils after a meal. To clean dishes or utensils after a meal. After cooking a delicious meal, they took turns to wash up the dishes and utensils in the kitchen. After cooking a delicious meal, they took turns to wash up the dishes and utensils in the kitchen. Wash down. Wash down. Meaning, to clean a surface by washing it with water. To clean a surface by washing it with water. He used a hose to wash down the car and remove the dirt and bird droppings from the surface. He used a hose to wash down the car and remove the dirt and bird droppings from the surface. Shake out. Shake out. Meaning, To remove dust or dirt by shaking something vigorously. To remove dust or dirt by shaking something vigorously. Before putting away the picnic blanket, she'd shake out the crumbs and leaves that clung to it. Before putting away the picnic blanket, she'd shake out the crumbs and leaves that clung to it. Wash out. Wash out. Meaning, to remove dirt or stains by washing thoroughly. To remove dirt or stains by washing thoroughly. After a day at the beach, she had to wash out the sand from her hair and clothes. After a day at the beach, she had to wash out the sand from her hair and clothes. Rinse out. Rinse out. Meaning, to remove soap or detergent by rinsing with water. To remove soap or detergent by rinsing with water. Before reusing the water bottle, she made sure to rinse out any lingering soap residue. Before reusing the water bottle, she made sure to rinse out any lingering soap residue. Clean out. Clean out. Meaning, to thoroughly empty and clean the inside of something. To thoroughly empty and clean the inside of something. They decided to clean out the cluttered attic to make room for the new storage space. They decided to clean out the cluttered attic to make room for the new storage space. Wipe up. Wipe up. Meaning, to clean by wiping away spills or messes. To clean by wiping away spills or messes. After the kids spilled juice on the kitchen floor, she rushed to grab a towel to wipe up the sticky mess. After the kids spilled juice on the kitchen floor, she rushed to grab a towel to wipe up the sticky mess. Clean up. Clean up. Meaning, to make a place neat and tidy by cleaning. To make a place neat and tidy by cleaning. It took a team of volunteers all day to clean up the beach after the music festival. It took a team of volunteers all day to clean up the beach after the music festival. Pick up. Pick up. Meaning, to clean up and organise by putting things away. To clean up and organise by putting things away. After a long day at the beach, she asked her children to pick up their toys and towels. After a long day at the beach, she asked her children to pick up their toys and towels. Spray down. Spray down. Meaning, to clean by spraying with water or cleaning solution. To clean by spraying with water or cleaning solution. I'll spray down the patio furniture to remove dust and pollen before the barbecue. I'll spray down the patio furniture to remove dust and pollen before the barbecue. Tidy up. Tidy up. Meaning, to clean and organise a space to make it neat. To clean and organise a space to make it neat. In preparation for the family gathering, they worked together to tidy up the garden. In preparation for the family gathering, they worked together to tidy up the garden. Gather up, gather up, meaning to collect and clean things that are scattered. To collect and clean things that are scattered. She asked her children to gather up their toys and put them in the toy chest. She asked her children to gather up their toys and put them in the toy chest. Brush away, brush away, meaning to clean by brushing something off or away. To clean by brushing something off or away. He would gently brush away the fallen leaves from the windshield of his car every morning. He would gently brush away the fallen leaves from the windshield of his car every morning. Clear away, clear away, meaning to clean up and remove clutter or debris. To clean up and remove clutter or debris. After the party, they worked together to clear away the empty cups and plates from the tables. After the party, they worked together to clear away the empty cups and plates from the tables. Sweep out, sweep out, meaning to clean the inside of something by sweeping. To clean the inside of something by sweeping. She decided to sweep out the attic to create a more organized and spacious storage area. She decided to sweep out the attic to create a more organized and spacious storage area. Scrape off, scrape off, meaning to remove a substance by scraping it with a tool. To remove a substance by scraping it with a tool. He used a knife to scrape off the chewing gum stuck to the bottom of his shoe. He used a knife to scrape off the chewing gum stuck to the bottom of his shoe. Rinse away, rinse away, meaning to remove something by rinsing it with water. To remove something by rinsing it with water. She used a hose to rinse away the dirt and mud from her gardening tools. She used a hose to rinse away the dirt and mud from her gardening tools. Wash off, wash off, meaning to remove something by washing it off with water. To remove something by washing it off with water. Before returning the rental equipment, they had to wash off the dirt from their hiking gear. Before returning the rental equipment, they had to wash off the dirt from their hiking gear. Scrub away, scrub away, meaning to clean something by scrubbing until it's gone. To clean something by scrubbing until it's gone. With a brush in hand, he began to scrub away the grime from the bathroom tiles. With a brush in hand, he began to scrub away the grime from the bathroom tiles. Wipe away, wipe away, meaning to clean or remove something by wiping it. To clean or remove something by wiping it. She used a damp cloth to wipe away the dust that had settled on the bookshelves. She used a damp cloth to wipe away the dust that had settled on the bookshelves. Clean up after. Clean up after. Meaning, to remove mess or dirt caused by someone. To remove mess or dirt caused by someone. It's important to clean up after cooking to keep the kitchen clean and safe. It's important to clean up after cooking to keep the kitchen clean and safe. Tidy away. Tidy away. Meaning, to clean and put things in their proper places. To clean and put things in their proper places. He asked his children to tidy away their toys and games before bedtime. He asked his children to tidy away their toys and games before bedtime. Scrub out. Scrub out. Meaning, to clean something by scrubbing vigorously. To clean something by scrubbing vigorously. She had to scrub out the stubborn coffee stain from her favourite white shirt. She had to scrub out the stubborn coffee stain from her favourite white shirt. Whip up. Whip up. Meaning, to quickly prepare a meal or dish. To quickly prepare a meal or dish. I can whip up a delicious pasta dish in under 20 minutes. I can whip up a delicious pasta dish in under 20 minutes. Boil down. Boil down. Meaning, to reduce the liquid in a sauce or mixture by boiling. To reduce the liquid in a sauce or mixture by boiling. I need to boil down the sauce to make it thicker. I need to boil down the sauce to make it thicker. Fry up. Fry up. Meaning, to cook something in hot oil or fat. To cook something in hot oil or fat. Let's fry up some bacon and eggs for breakfast. Let's fry up some bacon and eggs for breakfast. Simmer down. Simmer down. Meaning, to lower the heat and let something cook gently. To lower the heat and let something cook gently. To achieve the perfect curry, you should simmer down the ingredients over low heat for several hours. To achieve the perfect curry, you should simmer down the ingredients over low heat for several hours. Bake off. Bake off. Meaning, to finish baking something in the oven until it's done. To finish baking something in the oven until it's done. You need to bake off the bread until it's golden brown. You need to bake off the bread until it's golden brown. Chop up. Chop up. Meaning, to cut food into small pieces. To cut food into small pieces. I'm going to chop up some vegetables to make a stir-fry for dinner. I'm going to chop up some vegetables to make a stir-fry for dinner. Grill up. Grill up. Meaning, to cook something on a grill. To cook something on a grill. We're going to grill up some burgers for the barbecue. We're going to grill up some burgers for the barbecue. Melt down, meaning to heat something until it becomes a liquid. To heat something until it becomes a liquid. Melt down the chocolate to make a fondue. Melt down the chocolate to make a fondue. Stir in, meaning to mix one ingredient into another by stirring. To mix one ingredient into another by stirring. Stir in the sugar until it dissolves into the coffee. Stir in the sugar until it dissolves into the coffee. Pour over, meaning to add a liquid such as sauce or dressing to food. To add a liquid such as sauce or dressing to food. I like to pour over a rich caramel sauce when serving the warm apple pie. I like to pour over a rich caramel sauce when serving the warm apple pie. Blend in, meaning to mix two or more ingredients together until they are fully combined. To mix two or more ingredients together until they are fully combined. When making the smoothie, be sure to blend in the fresh strawberries for a burst of flavour. When making the smoothie, be sure to blend in the fresh strawberries for a burst of flavour. Slice up, meaning to cut food into thin, flat pieces. To cut food into thin, flat pieces. Let's slice up the ripe watermelon into small, juicy wedges for everyone to enjoy at the picnic. Let's slice up the ripe watermelon into small, juicy wedges for everyone to enjoy at the picnic. Steam up, meaning to cook food using steam. To cook food using steam. Steam up some broccoli for a healthy side dish. Steam up some broccoli for a healthy side dish. Sear in, meaning to quickly cook the surface of meat at a high temperature. To quickly cook the surface of meat at a high temperature. Sear in the flavours by cooking the steak on high heat. Sear in the flavours by cooking the steak on high heat. Marinate in, meaning to soak food in a seasoned liquid to enhance its flavour. To soak food in a seasoned liquid to enhance its flavour. Let the chicken marinate in the sauce for an hour. Let the chicken marinate in the sauce for an hour. Mix up, meaning to combine different ingredients together. To combine different ingredients together. Mix up the ingredients for the pancake batter. Mix up the ingredients for the pancake batter. Mash up, mash up, meaning to crush or press food into a soft, uniform consistency. To crush or press food into a soft, uniform consistency. I like to mash up ripe avocados with a bit of lime and salt to make a delicious guacamole dip. I like to mash up ripe avocados with a bit of lime and salt to make a delicious guacamole dip. Blend up, meaning to liquefy or mix ingredients using a blender. To liquefy or mix ingredients using a blender. Blend up the fruits to make a smoothie. Blend up the fruits to make a smoothie. Dish out, meaning to serve food onto plates or dishes. To serve food onto plates or dishes. Dish out the pasta and garnish with fresh herbs. Dish out the pasta and garnish with fresh herbs. Whisk together, meaning to beat ingredients rapidly with a whisk to combine them. To beat ingredients rapidly with a whisk to combine them. Whisk together the eggs and milk for the omelette. Whisk together the eggs and milk for the omelette. Sprinkle on, meaning to scatter small amounts of a substance over food. To scatter small amounts of a substance over food. Before serving the salad, be sure to sprinkle on some freshly ground black pepper for extra flavour. Before serving the salad, be sure to sprinkle on some freshly ground black pepper for extra flavour. Thicken up, meaning to make a liquid mixture denser or more viscous. To make a liquid mixture denser or more viscous. Use cornstarch to thicken up the sauce. Use cornstarch to thicken up the sauce. Sift through, meaning to pass dry ingredients through a fine sieve to remove lumps. To pass dry ingredients through a fine sieve to remove lumps. I had to sift through the flour to remove any lumps before using it in the cake batter. I had to sift through the flour to remove any lumps before using it in the cake batter. Squeeze out, meaning to extract liquid from food by applying pressure. To extract liquid from food by applying pressure. Squeeze out the excess water from the spinach. Squeeze out the excess water from the spinach. Slather on, meaning to spread a thick layer of a substance over food. To spread a thick layer of a substance over food. Slather on the barbecue sauce before grilling the chicken. Slather on the barbecue sauce before grilling the chicken. Carve up, meaning To cut cooked meat into slices for serving. To cut cooked meat into slices for serving. Carve up the roast beef into thin slices. Carve up the roast beef into thin slices. Braise in. Braise in. Meaning, to cook meat or vegetables by browning and then simmering in liquid. To cook meat or vegetables by browning and then simmering in liquid. Braise in red wine for a flavourful and tender dish. Braise in red wine for a flavourful and tender dish. Crack open. Crack open. Meaning, to break the shell of an egg or nut to access the contents. To break the shell of an egg or nut to access the contents. Crack open the eggs and beat them for the omelette. Crack open the eggs and beat them for the omelette. Mince up. Mince up. Meaning, to finely chop food into very small pieces. To finely chop food into very small pieces. Mince up the garlic for the pasta sauce. Mince up the garlic for the pasta sauce. Glaze over. Glaze over. Meaning, to apply a shiny coating or sauce to food. To apply a shiny coating or sauce to food. The pastry chef decided to glaze over the cake with a chocolate ganache. The pastry chef decided to glaze over the cake with a chocolate ganache. Reduce down. Reduce down. Meaning, to simmer a liquid to concentrate its flavour and thicken it. To simmer a liquid to concentrate its flavour and thicken it. Reduce down the wine to make a rich sauce. Reduce down the wine to make a rich sauce. Fluff up. Fluff up. Meaning, to make something light and airy, such as rice or quinoa. To make something light and airy, such as rice or quinoa. To make the rice light and fluffy, fluff up the grains with a fork after cooking. To make the rice light and fluffy, fluff up the grains with a fork after cooking. Toss together. Toss together. Meaning, to mix ingredients by gently throwing or stirring. To mix ingredients by gently throwing or stirring. Toss together the salad with the vinaigrette dressing. Toss together the salad with the vinaigrette dressing. Stew down. Stew down. Meaning, to simmer a dish until it thickens and becomes concentrated. To simmer a dish until it thickens and becomes concentrated. Stew down the tomato sauce for a rich flavour. Stew down the tomato sauce for a rich flavour. Grate up. Grate up. Meaning, to shred food into small pieces using a grater. To shred food into small pieces using a grater. I like to grate up some fresh Parmesan cheese to sprinkle over my pasta dishes for added flavour. I like to grate up some fresh Parmesan cheese to sprinkle over my pasta dishes for added flavour. Cut away, meaning to remove unwanted or inedible parts from food. To remove unwanted or inedible parts from food. Cut away the fat from the meat before cooking. Cut away the fat from the meat before cooking. Beat in, meaning to incorporate an ingredient into another by beating or whisking. To incorporate an ingredient into another by beating or whisking. Beat in the eggs one at a time for the cake batter. Beat in the eggs one at a time for the cake batter. Melt away, meaning to become liquid due to heat. To become liquid due to heat. Watch the chocolate chips melt away as you bake the cookies. Watch the chocolate chips melt away as you bake the cookies. Peel off, meaning to remove the outer skin or covering from fruits or vegetables. To remove the outer skin or covering from fruits or vegetables. Peel off the skin from the apples before making a pie. Peel off the skin from the apples before making a pie. Pour out, meaning to empty a liquid from a container. To empty a liquid from a container. Pour out the excess oil from the pan. Pour out the excess oil from the pan. Cheer up, meaning to become happier or make someone happier. To become happier or make someone happier. I tried to cheer up my little sister by telling her a funny story when she was feeling down. I tried to cheer up my little sister by telling her a funny story when she was feeling down. Calm down, meaning to become less agitated or anxious. To become less agitated or anxious. Please take a few deep breaths to calm down before we continue the discussion. Please take a few deep breaths to calm down before we continue the discussion. Tear up, meaning to become emotional and cry. To become emotional and cry. As she read the heartfelt note, she started to tear up. As she read the heartfelt note, she started to tear up. Lash out, meaning to express anger or frustration, often by criticizing or attacking others. To express anger or frustration, often by criticizing or attacking others. She always seems to lash out when things don't go her way. She always seems to lash out when things don't go her way. Lighten up, meaning To become less serious or more relaxed. To become less serious or more relaxed. You need to lighten up and enjoy life a bit more. You need to lighten up and enjoy life a bit more. Hold back. Hold back. Meaning, to restrain or suppress one's emotions or tears. To restrain or suppress one's emotions or tears. She struggled to hold back her tears during the sad movie. She struggled to hold back her tears during the sad movie. Get over. Get over. Meaning, to recover from a negative emotion or situation. To recover from a negative emotion or situation. It took her a long time to get over her breakup. It took her a long time to get over her breakup. Choke up. Choke up. Meaning, to become too emotional to speak. To become too emotional to speak. The touching tribute to her late father made her choke up during the memorial service. The touching tribute to her late father made her choke up during the memorial service. Break down. Break down. Meaning, to lose emotional control, often by crying. To lose emotional control, often by crying. She couldn't hold back her tears and started to break down emotionally. She couldn't hold back her tears and started to break down emotionally. Fall for. Fall for. Meaning, to develop strong romantic feelings for someone. To develop strong romantic feelings for someone. She couldn't help but fall for his kind and genuine personality. She couldn't help but fall for his kind and genuine personality. Give into. Give into. Meaning, to surrender to a desire or emotion. To surrender to a desire or emotion. I had to give into my craving for chocolate and indulge in a sweet treat. I had to give into my craving for chocolate and indulge in a sweet treat. Get along with. Get along with. Meaning, to have a good relationship with someone. To have a good relationship with someone. Despite our differences, we managed to get along with each other. Despite our differences, we managed to get along with each other. Warm up to. Warm up to. Meaning, to gradually develop positive feelings for someone or something. To gradually develop positive feelings for someone or something. After a few meetings, he began to warm up to the idea of working on the project together. After a few meetings, he began to warm up to the idea of working on the project together. Break up. Break up. Meaning, to end a romantic relationship. To end a romantic relationship. They decided to break up after years of dating. They decided to break up after years of dating. back off, back off, meaning to stop pressuring or bothering someone, to stop pressuring or bothering someone. She told him to back off and give her some space. She told him to back off and give her some space. Let down, meaning to disappoint or fail someone's expectations, to disappoint or fail someone's expectations. He felt let down when his friends didn't come to his party. He felt let down when his friends didn't come to his party. Hold on to, meaning to keep or retain something often related to emotions or memories. To keep or retain something often related to emotions or memories. Despite the sadness that overwhelmed her, she managed to hold on to a glimmer of hope. Despite the sadness that overwhelmed her, she managed to hold on to a glimmer of hope. Tune out, meaning to stop paying attention or become disinterested. To stop paying attention or become disinterested. During the boring lecture, I found myself starting to tune out. During the boring lecture, I found myself starting to tune out. Run away, meaning to escape from a situation often due to fear or distress. To escape from a situation often due to fear or distress. He wanted to run away from all his problems. He wanted to run away from all his problems. Act up, meaning to behave badly or exhibit disruptive behaviour, often used for children. To behave badly or exhibit disruptive behaviour, often used for children. She was usually well behaved, but today she decided to act up and disrupt the class. She was usually well behaved, but today she decided to act up and disrupt the class. Shut down, meaning to emotionally close off or withdraw from others. To emotionally close off or withdraw from others. After the breakup, he shut down and didn't want to talk to anyone. After the breakup, he shut down and didn't want to talk to anyone. Open up, meaning to share one's thoughts and emotions with others. To share one's thoughts and emotions with others. It's important to open up and talk about your feelings. It's important to open up and talk about your feelings. Brush off, meaning to dismiss or ignore someone's feelings or concerns. To dismiss or ignore someone's feelings or concerns. I wish you wouldn't just brush off my concerns. I need your support and understanding right now. I wish you wouldn't just brush off my concerns. I need your support and understanding right now. Back down, meaning to withdraw from a confrontation or argument. To withdraw from a confrontation or argument. He didn't want to fight, so he decided to back down. He didn't want to fight, so he decided to back down. Live with, meaning to accept or tolerate a difficult situation or emotion. To accept or tolerate a difficult situation or emotion. He had to learn to live with his fear of heights. He had to learn to live with his fear of heights. Speak up, meaning to express one's opinion or feelings openly. To express one's opinions or feelings openly. Don't be afraid to speak up if you disagree. Don't be afraid to speak up if you disagree. Sink in, meaning to gradually understand or accept something emotionally. To gradually understand or accept something emotionally. The news took a while to sink in, and she felt overwhelmed. The news took a while to sink in, and she felt overwhelmed. Bottle up, meaning to suppress or hide one's emotions or feelings. To suppress or hide one's emotions or feelings. She tends to bottle up her anger instead of expressing it. She tends to bottle up her anger instead of expressing it. Play down, meaning to minimize or make something seem less important. To minimize or make something seem less important. She tried to play down her disappointment. She tried to play down her disappointment. Talk over, meaning to discuss something thoroughly to address emotions or issues. To discuss something thoroughly to address emotions or issues. Let's talk over our problems and find a solution. Let's talk over our problems and find a solution. Laugh off, meaning to dismiss something as a joke or not serious. To dismiss something as a joke or not serious. She tried to laugh off the embarrassing situation. She tried to laugh off the embarrassing situation. Bite back, meaning to suppress or control one's emotions, especially anger. To suppress or control one's emotions, especially anger. She had to bite back her frustration during the meeting. She had to bite back her frustration during the meeting. Blow up, meaning to explode in anger or emotion. To explode in anger or emotion. Despite his efforts to stay composed, he couldn't help but blow up when he received the news. Despite his efforts to stay composed, he couldn't help but blow up when he received the news. Fall apart. Fall apart. Meaning, to break down emotionally or physically. To break down emotionally or physically. When she received the bad news, she started to fall apart. When she received the bad news, she started to fall apart. Snap at. Snap at. Meaning, to respond angrily or sharply to someone. To respond angrily or sharply to someone. She was so stressed that she would snap at anyone who asked her a question. She was so stressed that she would snap at anyone who asked her a question. Bring up. Bring up. Meaning, to mention a topic in conversation or discussion. To mention a topic in conversation or discussion. I'll make sure to bring up the latest project updates to the reporter. I'll make sure to bring up the latest project updates to the reporter. Cover up. Cover up. Meaning, to hide or conceal information, often to protect someone or something. To hide or conceal information, often to protect someone or something. The government was accused of trying to cover up the environmental disaster. The government was accused of trying to cover up the environmental disaster. Get at. Get at. Meaning, to imply or suggest something indirectly. To imply or suggest something indirectly. The interviewer tried to get at the truth by asking probing questions. The interviewer tried to get at the truth by asking probing questions. Look into. Look into. Meaning, to investigate or examine a situation or issue. To investigate or examine a situation or issue. The news agency decided to look into the allegations of misconduct. The news agency decided to look into the allegations of misconduct. Follow up. Follow up. Meaning, to continue reporting on a previous story or investigation. To continue reporting on a previous story or investigation. The reporter promised to follow up on the ongoing political developments. The reporter promised to follow up on the ongoing political developments. Fill in. Fill in. Meaning, to provide additional information or details. To provide additional information or details. The news anchor will fill in the viewers on the latest developments. The news anchor will fill in the viewers on the latest developments. Bring out. Bring out. Meaning, to publish or release a new piece of information or report. To publish or release a new piece of information or report. The newspaper plans to bring out a special edition on the anniversary. The newspaper plans to bring out a special edition on the anniversary. Break down. Break down. Meaning, to analyse or explain complex information. To analyse or explain complex information. The journalist will break down the economic implications of the new policy. The journalist will break down the economic implications of the new policy. Dig into, meaning to investigate thoroughly or research deeply. To investigate thoroughly or research deeply. The investigative journalist decided to dig into the company's financial records. The investigative journalist decided to dig into the company's financial records. Play up, meaning to emphasize or highlight a particular aspect of a story. To emphasize or highlight a particular aspect of a story. The media tends to play up sensational details to attract more viewers. The media tends to play up sensational details to attract more viewers. Rule out, meaning to eliminate or exclude as a possibility. To eliminate or exclude as a possibility. The initial investigation helps rule out natural causes in the breaking news about the mysterious illness. The initial investigation helps rule out natural causes in the breaking news about the mysterious illness. Look back on, meaning to review or reflect on past events or stories. To review or reflect on past events or stories. The documentary looks back on the history of the civil rights movement. The documentary looks back on the history of the civil rights movement. Crop up, meaning to appear or occur unexpectedly. To appear or occur unexpectedly. Unexpected challenges can crop up during the course of an investigation. Unexpected challenges can crop up during the course of an investigation. Zero in on, meaning to focus attention on a specific person, topic, or detail. To focus attention on a specific person, topic, or detail. The reporter decided to zero in on the key witness for an exclusive interview. The reporter decided to zero in on the key witness for an exclusive interview. Lay out, meaning to present or explain information in a clear and organized manner. To present or explain information in a clear and organized manner. The journalist will lay out the facts of the case in tomorrow's article. The journalist will lay out the facts of the case in tomorrow's article. Leak out, meaning to become known to the public, often unintentionally. To become known to the public, often unintentionally. Information about the upcoming merger started to leak out before the official announcement. Information about the upcoming merger started to leak out before the official announcement. Sort out, meaning to resolve or clarify a complicated situation. To resolve or clarify a complicated situation. The news team is working to sort out the conflicting accounts of the incident. The news team is working to sort out the conflicting accounts of the incident. look over, look over, meaning to review or examine carefully, to review or examine carefully. The editor will look over the final draft before it goes to print. The editor will look over the final draft before it goes to print. Come out with, come out with, meaning to publish or release new information or a statement. To publish or release new information or a statement. The company will come out with a statement addressing the recent controversy. The company will come out with a statement addressing the recent controversy. Give out, meaning to distribute or announce information to the public. To distribute or announce information to the public. The press conference will give out details about the new government initiative. The press conference will give out details about the new government initiative. Spell out, meaning to explain something in a clear and detailed manner. To explain something in a clear and detailed manner. The expert was brought in to spell out the implications of the new scientific discovery. The expert was brought in to spell out the implications of the new scientific discovery. Bring about, meaning to cause or lead to a particular outcome or change. To cause or lead to a particular outcome or change. The economic policies are expected to bring about positive changes in the job market. The economic policies are expected to bring about positive changes in the job market. Phase out, meaning to gradually discontinue or remove from use. To gradually discontinue or remove from use. The government plans to phase out the old currency notes. The government plans to phase out the old currency notes. Hone in on, meaning to focus or target something precisely. To focus or target something precisely. The reporter decided to hone in on the critical details of the investigation. The reporter decided to hone in on the critical details of the investigation. Draw up, meaning to create or prepare a document, often used for plans or reports. To create or prepare a document, often used for plans or reports. The committee will draw up a report summarising their findings. The committee will draw up a report summarising their findings. Fall through, meaning to fail to happen or be completed. To fail to happen or be completed. Despite careful negotiations, the peace agreement began to fall through due to unforeseen complications. Despite careful negotiations, the peace agreement began to fall through due to unforeseen complications. Write up, meaning to compose or produce a written report or article. To compose or produce a written report or article. The journalist will write up the interview with the prominent scientist. The journalist will write up the interview with the prominent scientist. Breakthrough. Breakthrough. Meaning, to overcome obstacles or barriers and gain attention or success. To overcome obstacles or barriers and gain attention or success. The new artist managed to break through the competitive music industry. The new artist managed to break through the competitive music industry. Pass on. Pass on. Meaning, to transmit or share information. To transmit or share information. The news anchor will pass on the breaking news to viewers as soon as it comes in. The news anchor will pass on the breaking news to viewers as soon as it comes in. Size up. Size up. Meaning, to evaluate or assess a situation or person. To evaluate or assess a situation or person. The journalist will size up the economic impact of the new trade policies. The journalist will size up the economic impact of the new trade policies. Read up on. Read up on. Meaning, to study or research information about a particular topic. To study or research information about a particular topic. Before the interview, the reporter decided to read up on the author's latest book. Before the interview, the reporter decided to read up on the author's latest book. Whittle down. Whittle down. Meaning, to reduce or narrow down a list or options. To reduce or narrow down a list or options. The selection committee will whittle down the list of candidates for the award. The selection committee will whittle down the list of candidates for the award. Hold over. Hold over. Meaning, to postpone or delay something. To postpone or delay something. The decision to hold over the discussion allowed for further deliberation and analysis. The decision to hold over the discussion allowed for further deliberation and analysis. Play down. Play down. Meaning, to minimize or make something seem less important. To minimize or make something seem less important. The spokesperson tried to play down the significance of the financial losses. The spokesperson tried to play down the significance of the financial losses. Bring in. Bring in. Meaning, to introduce or implement a new policy or law. To introduce or implement a new policy or law. The government plans to bring in stricter regulations on environmental practices. The government plans to bring in stricter regulations on environmental practices. Flick through. Flick through. Meaning, to quickly look through a publication or document. To quickly look through a publication or document. The journalist decided to flick through the magazine for relevant articles. The journalist decided to flick through the magazine for relevant articles. Wake up, wake up, meaning to stop sleeping and become conscious. To stop sleeping and become conscious. I wake up early every morning to enjoy the peaceful sunrise. I wake up early every morning to enjoy the peaceful sunrise. Get up, meaning to leave the bed, to leave the bed. I need to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow to prepare for my important presentation. I need to get up at 6 a.m. tomorrow to prepare for my important presentation. Turn in, meaning to go to bed, to go to bed. After a long day of work, I like to turn in early and get a good night's sleep in my comfortable bed. After a long day of work, I like to turn in early and get a good night's sleep in my comfortable bed. Tuck in, meaning to make someone comfortable in bed. To make someone comfortable in bed. As a caring parent, she would tuck in her child every night, ensuring they felt safe and loved. As a caring parent, she would tuck in her child every night, ensuring they felt safe and loved. Drift off, meaning to gradually fall asleep. To gradually fall asleep. As the soothing music played, she began to drift off to sleep. As the soothing music played, she began to drift off to sleep. Sleep in, meaning to stay in bed later than usual. To stay in bed later than usual. I love to sleep in on weekends and catch up on rest. I love to sleep in on weekends and catch up on rest. Doze off, meaning to fall asleep briefly. To fall asleep briefly. After reading a few pages of my book in bed, I started to doze off with my bedside lamp still on. After reading a few pages of my book in bed, I started to doze off with my bedside lamp still on. Nod off, meaning to fall asleep unintentionally. To fall asleep unintentionally. While studying late at night, I began to nod off in my bedroom, unable to keep my eyes open. While studying late at night, I began to nod off in my bedroom, unable to keep my eyes open. Curl up, meaning to lie or sit in a comfortable curled position. To lie or sit in a comfortable curled position. I like to curl up with a good book on a rainy day. I like to curl up with a good book on a rainy day. Lie down, meaning to recline or rest in a horizontal position. To recline or rest in a horizontal position. I need to lie down for a while. I have a headache. I need to lie down for a while. I have a headache. Sit up. Sit up. Meaning, to rise from a lying position in bed. To rise from a lying position in bed. She struggled to sit up in bed after a long night of restless sleep. She struggled to sit up in bed after a long night of restless sleep. Roll over. Roll over. Meaning, to change your sleeping position from one side to the other. To change your sleeping position from one side to the other. I always roll over onto my left side when I sleep. I always roll over onto my left side when I sleep. Dress up. Dress up. Meaning, to wear nice or formal clothing. To wear nice or formal clothing. We need to dress up for the fancy dinner party tonight. We need to dress up for the fancy dinner party tonight. Take off. Take off. Meaning, to remove something, especially clothes. To remove something, especially clothes. I walked into the bedroom and decided to take off my shoes before settling down for the night. I walked into the bedroom and decided to take off my shoes before settling down for the night. Mess up. Mess up. Meaning, to make a room untidy. To make a room untidy. The kids always mess up their bedroom. The kids always mess up their bedroom. Clean up. Clean up. Meaning, to tidy a room. To tidy a room. Let's clean up the bedroom before guests arrive. Let's clean up the bedroom before guests arrive. Liven up. Liven up. Meaning, to make a room more lively or exciting. To make a room more lively or exciting. We added some colourful decorations to liven up the bedroom. We added some colourful decorations to liven up the bedroom. Warm up. Warm up. Meaning, to increase the temperature in a room. To increase the temperature in a room. It's chilly in here. Let's warm up the bedroom. It's chilly in here. Let's warm up the bedroom. Cool down. Cool down. Meaning, to lower the temperature in a room. To lower the temperature in a room. Can you cool down the bedroom a bit? It's too hot. Can you cool down the bedroom a bit? It's too hot. Pack up. Pack up. Meaning, to prepare belongings for a trip. To prepare belongings for a trip. I need to pack up my suitcase for the weekend getaway. I need to pack up my suitcase for the weekend getaway. Hang up. Hang up. Meaning, to place clothes on hooks or hangers. To place clothes on hooks or hangers. She wanted to hang up her new dress carefully to avoid any wrinkles. She wanted to hang up her new dress carefully to avoid any wrinkles. Put away, meaning to store items in their proper place. To store items in their proper place. After tidying up the bedroom, I decided to put away my clothes and organise the shelves. After tidying up the bedroom, I decided to put away my clothes and organise the shelves. Lay out, meaning to arrange items in an organised way. To arrange items in an organised way. Before going to bed, she liked to lay out her clothes for the next day on the cabinet in the bedroom. Before going to bed, she liked to lay out her clothes for the next day on the cabinet in the bedroom. Stay up, meaning to remain awake past one's usual bedtime. To remain awake past one's usual bedtime. I decided to stay up late to finish my book. I decided to stay up late to finish my book. Turn off, meaning to switch off or deactivate electronic devices or lights. To switch off or deactivate electronic devices or lights. She always remembered to turn off the bedroom lights to create a peaceful, dark atmosphere. She always remembered to turn off the bedroom lights to create a peaceful, dark atmosphere. Sleep over, meaning to sleep in someone else's home for a night. To sleep in someone else's home for a night. I'm having a friend sleep over this weekend. I'm having a friend sleep over this weekend. Set up, meaning to create or arrange something, often a business or system. To create or arrange something, often a business or system. They set up a meeting to discuss the new project's timeline. They set up a meeting to discuss the new project's timeline. Scale down, meaning to reduce the size or operations of a business. To reduce the size or operations of a business. Due to financial difficulties, the company had to scale down its workforce. Due to financial difficulties, the company had to scale down its workforce. Scale up, meaning to increase the size or operations of a business. To increase the size or operations of a business. The successful product launch allowed them to scale up production. The successful product launch allowed them to scale up production. Branch out, meaning to diversify or expand into new markets or products. The company decided to branch out into international markets to increase revenue. The company decided to branch out into international markets to increase revenue. Phase out, meaning to gradually discontinue a product, service, or operation. To gradually discontinue a product, service, or operation. They decided to phase out their old software and focus on the new version. They decided to phase out their old software and focus on the new version. Cash in. Cash in. Meaning, to profit from an opportunity or asset. To profit from an opportunity or asset. It's a good time to cash in your investments while the market is favourable. It's a good time to cash in your investments while the market is favourable. Lay off. Lay off. Meaning, to terminate employees due to downsizing or budget constraints. To terminate employees due to downsizing or budget constraints. The company had to lay off several employees to cut costs. The company had to lay off several employees to cut costs. Take on. Take on. Meaning, to hire or accept responsibility for a task or project. To hire or accept responsibility for a task or project. We need to take on additional staff during the busy season. We need to take on additional staff during the busy season. Roll out. Roll out. Meaning, to introduce a new product, service, or initiative. To introduce a new product, service, or initiative. The company plans to roll out its latest software update next month. The company plans to roll out its latest software update next month. Buy out. Buy out. Meaning, to purchase the entire ownership or controlling interest of a business. To purchase the entire ownership or controlling interest of a business. He's hoping to buy out the other shareholders and take full control of the company. He's hoping to buy out the other shareholders and take full control of the company. Sell off. Sell off. Meaning, to dispose of assets or inventory, often at a reduced price. To dispose of assets or inventory, often at a reduced price. To raise capital, they had to sell off some of their excess inventory. To raise capital, they had to sell off some of their excess inventory. Cut back. Cut back. Meaning, to reduce expenses or operations. To reduce expenses or operations. The company had to cut back on expenses to stay profitable. The company had to cut back on expenses to stay profitable. Team up. Team up. Meaning, to collaborate or work together with another individual or company. To collaborate or work together with another individual or company. They decided to team up with a marketing agency to expand their reach. They decided to team up with a marketing agency to expand their reach. Call off. Call off. Meaning, to cancel a planned event, meeting, or project. To cancel a planned event, meeting, or project. Due to unforeseen circumstances, they had to call off the conference. Due to unforeseen circumstances, they had to call off the conference. Back down. Back down. Meaning, to withdraw from a position or decision in response to pressure. To withdraw from a position or decision in response to pressure. After negotiations, they decided to back down from their initial pricing. After negotiations, they decided to back down from their initial pricing. Drive up. Drive up. Meaning, to increase the demand, price, or value of something. To increase the demand, price, or value of something. Strong marketing efforts can drive up consumer interest in a product. Strong marketing efforts can drive up consumer interest in a product. Phase in. Phase in. Meaning, to gradually introduce something over time. To gradually introduce something over time. They plan to phase in the new software features in several updates. They plan to phase in the new software features in several updates. Write off. Write off. Meaning, to consider something as a loss or expense. To consider something as a loss or expense. They had to write off the damaged inventory as a loss on their financial statements. They had to write off the damaged inventory as a loss on their financial statements. Hand over. Hand over. Meaning, to transfer responsibility, control, or authority to someone else. To transfer responsibility, control, or authority to someone else. The department decided to hand over control of the project to a more experienced team. The department decided to hand over control of the project to a more experienced team. Sell out. Sell out. Meaning, to exhaust the supply of a product or service. To exhaust the supply of a product or service. The bakery's fresh pastries tend to sell out by mid-morning. The bakery's fresh pastries tend to sell out by mid-morning. Ramp up. Ramp up. Meaning, to increase production or effort quickly. To increase production or effort quickly. They needed to ramp up production to meet the surge in demand. They needed to ramp up production to meet the surge in demand. Buy into. Buy into. Meaning, to invest in or accept a concept, idea, or company. To invest in or accept a concept, idea, or company. It's important for employees to buy into the company's mission and values. It's important for employees to buy into the company's mission and values. Take over. Take over. Meaning to acquire control or leadership of a company. To acquire control or leadership of a company. He plans to take over the family business when his father retires. He plans to take over the family business when his father retires. Check out. Check out. Meaning to investigate or examine a situation or opportunity. To investigate or examine a situation or opportunity. Before investing, it's essential to check out the market trends. Before investing, it's essential to check out the market trends. Hand in. Hand in. Meaning to submit something, often paperwork or documents. To submit something, often paperwork or documents. Please hand in your expense reports by the end of the month. Please hand in your expense reports by the end of the month. Roll back. Roll back. Meaning to reduce or reverse changes or decisions. To reduce or reverse changes or decisions. The company decided to roll back the recent price increases. The company decided to roll back the recent price increases. Hold off. Hold off. Meaning to delay or postpone something. To delay or postpone something. They had to hold off on the product launch due to manufacturing issues. They had to hold off on the product launch due to manufacturing issues. Pass on. Pass on. Meaning to decline an opportunity or offer. To decline an opportunity or offer. She decided to pass on the job offer because of the long commute. She decided to pass on the job offer because of the long commute. Face up to. Face up to. Meaning to confront or deal with a difficult situation or problem. To confront or deal with a difficult situation or problem. The CEO had to face up to the company's financial challenges. The CEO had to face up to the company's financial challenges. Sell up. Sell up. Meaning to sell one's business or assets. To sell one's business or assets. After years of running the restaurant, they decided to sell up and retire. After years of running the restaurant, they decided to sell up and retire. Shut down. Shut down. Meaning to cease operations temporarily or permanently. To cease operations temporarily or permanently. The factory had to shut down for maintenance and upgrades. The factory had to shut down for maintenance and upgrades. Push through. Push through. Meaning To overcome obstacles or opposition to achieve a goal. To overcome obstacles or opposition to achieve a goal. Despite resistance, they managed to push through the new policy. Despite resistance, they managed to push through the new policy. Hold out. Hold out. Meaning, to resist or endure pressure, often in negotiations. To resist or endure pressure, often in negotiations. The company decided to hold out for a better acquisition offer before selling. The company decided to hold out for a better acquisition offer before selling. Write up. Write up. Meaning, to create a formal document or report. To create a formal document or report. The marketing team will write up a detailed campaign analysis. The marketing team will write up a detailed campaign analysis. Weigh in. Weigh in. Meaning, to offer one's opinion or input on a matter. To offer one's opinion or input on a matter. They asked all team members to weigh in on the decision-making process. They asked all team members to weigh in on the decision-making process. Run out. Run out. Meaning, to exhaust the supply of something, especially time. To exhaust the supply of something, especially time. We're about to run out of time. The meeting is almost over. We're about to run out of time. The meeting is almost over. Catch up on. Catch up on. Meaning, to get up to date with something, often after a period of neglect. To get up to date with something, often after a period of neglect. I need to catch up on my emails. I've been away for a week. I need to catch up on my emails. I've been away for a week. Tick away. Tick away. Meaning, to pass slowly, often used for time. To pass slowly, often used for time. Time continued to tick away as they waited anxiously for the test results. Time continued to tick away as they waited anxiously for the test results. Look forward to. Look forward to. Meaning, to anticipate or eagerly await something in the future. To anticipate or eagerly await something in the future. I look forward to meeting you at the conference next week. I look forward to meeting you at the conference next week. Hold off. Hold off. Meaning, to delay or postpone something. To delay or postpone something. Let's hold off on the decision until we have more information. Let's hold off on the decision until we have more information. Bring forward. Bring forward. Meaning, to reschedule or move an event to an earlier time. To reschedule or move an event to an earlier time. Let's bring forward the meeting to accommodate everyone's availability. Let's bring forward the meeting to accommodate everyone's availability. Set aside. Set aside. Meaning, to allocate or reserve time for a specific purpose. To allocate or reserve time for a specific purpose. I'll set aside an hour each day for exercise. I'll set aside an hour each day for exercise. Free up. Free up. Meaning, to make time available by cancelling or rearranging plans. To make time available by cancelling or rearranging plans. I'll try to free up some time for a quick meeting. I'll try to free up some time for a quick meeting. Hang on. Hang on. Meaning, to wait for a short period. To wait for a short period. Hang on, I'll be with you in just a moment. Hang on, I'll be with you in just a moment. Push back. Push back. Meaning, to postpone or delay a scheduled event. To postpone or delay a scheduled event. We had to push back the deadline for the project due to unforeseen challenges. We had to push back the deadline for the project due to unforeseen challenges. Make up for. Make up for. Meaning, to compensate for lost time or to make amends. To compensate for lost time or to make amends. I'll work extra hours to make up for the time I took off last week. I'll work extra hours to make up for the time I took off last week. Take up. Take up. Meaning, to use or occupy time. To use or occupy time. Learning a new hobby can take up a significant amount of time. Learning a new hobby can take up a significant amount of time. Hold up. Hold up. Meaning, to cause a delay or slow down. To cause a delay or slow down. Traffic accidents can hold up your commute. Traffic accidents can hold up your commute. Wind down. Wind down. Meaning, to relax or reduce activity, often before bedtime. To relax or reduce activity, often before bedtime. I like to wind down with a good book before going to sleep. I like to wind down with a good book before going to sleep. Set back. Set back. Meaning, to delay progress or schedule. To delay progress or schedule. The unexpected issue set back the project by a few days. The unexpected issue set back the project by a few days. Speed up. Speed up. Meaning, to increase the pace or rate. To increase the pace or rate. We need to speed up production to meet the deadline. We need to speed up production to meet the deadline. Pass by. Pass by. Meaning, to elapse or go by, often used for time. To elapse or go by, often used for time. The days seemed to pass by quickly during the holiday. The days seemed to pass by quickly during the holiday. Plan ahead. Plan ahead. Meaning, to make arrangements or preparations for the future. To make arrangements or preparations for the future. It's essential to plan ahead for a successful event. It's essential to plan ahead for a successful event. Carry on. Carry on. Meaning, to continue or proceed. To continue or proceed. Despite the challenges, we decided to carry on with the project. Despite the challenges, we decided to carry on with the project. Count down. Count down. Meaning, to decrease or reduce gradually, often used for time. To decrease or reduce gradually, often used for time. The clock will count down the final seconds of the year. The clock will count down the final seconds of the year. Look back. Look back. Meaning, to reflect on or reminisce about the past. To reflect on or reminisce about the past. As we look back on the year, there were many accomplishments. As we look back on the year, there were many accomplishments. Turn back. Turn back. Meaning, to reverse or go back in time. To reverse or go back in time. We can't turn back the clock. We need to move forward. We can't turn back the clock. We need to move forward. Work through. Work through. Meaning, to deal with or solve a problem systematically. To deal with or solve a problem systematically. Let's work through the issues one by one. Let's work through the issues one by one. Hold back. Hold back. Meaning, to refrain from doing something. To refrain from doing something. Don't hold back your opinions. We value your input. Don't hold back your opinions. We value your input. Break into. Break into. Meaning, to start a new activity, often suddenly. To start a new activity, often suddenly. She decided to break into the music industry with her first album. She decided to break into the music industry with her first album. Stay up. Stay up. Meaning, to remain awake beyond the usual bedtime. To remain awake beyond the usual bedtime. I need to stay up late tonight to finish the report before the deadline. I need to stay up late tonight to finish the report before the deadline. Clock in. Clock in. Meaning, to record the time you arrive at work on a special machine. To record the time you arrive at work on a special machine. What time did you clock in this morning? What time did you clock in this morning? Fit in. Fit in. Meaning, to find time to do or deal with something or someone. To find time to do or deal with something or someone. I'll see if I can fit in a quick workout before my afternoon meetings. I'll see if I can fit in a quick workout before my afternoon meetings. Get together. Get together. Meaning, if two or more people get together, they meet each other, having arranged it before. If two or more people get together, they meet each other, having arranged it before. Shall we get together on Friday and go for a drink or something? Shall we get together on Friday and go for a drink or something? Run over. Run over. Meaning, to continue after the expected finishing time. To continue after the expected finishing time. We're starting to run over time, so could you keep your speeches short, please? We're starting to run over time, so could you keep your speeches short, please? Show up. Show up. Meaning, to arrive or attend, especially unexpectedly. To arrive or attend, especially unexpectedly. I didn't expect him to show up at the party. I didn't expect him to show up at the party. Plan out. Plan out. Meaning, to carefully organise and arrange the details of an event. To carefully organise and arrange the details of an event. We need to plan out the party schedule in advance. We need to plan out the party schedule in advance. Bring along. Bring along. Meaning, to bring someone or something with you to an event. To bring someone or something with you to an event. Can I bring along my friend to the party? Can I bring along my friend to the party? Kick off. Kick off. Meaning, to start or begin, often used for events or parties. To start or begin, often used for events or parties. The party will kick off at 8 p.m. The party will kick off at 8 p.m. Set up. Set up. Meaning, to arrange or prepare for an event or party. To arrange or prepare for an event or party. We need to set up the decorations before the guests arrive. We need to set up the decorations before the guests arrive. Hang out. Hang out. Meaning, to spend time casually or informally, especially at a social event. To spend time casually or informally, especially at a social event. We can just hang out and chat at the party. We can just hang out and chat at the party. Call off. Call off. Meaning, to cancel or postpone an event or party. To cancel or postpone an event or party. They had to call off the party due to bad weather. They had to call off the party due to bad weather. Back out. Back out. Meaning, to withdraw or decline participation in an event. To withdraw or decline participation in an event. Unfortunately, she had to back out of the party at the last minute. Unfortunately, she had to back out of the party at the last minute. Turn up, meaning to arrive or appear, often used for unexpected appearances. To arrive or appear, often used for unexpected appearances. You can just turn up to the party without an invitation. You can just turn up to the party without an invitation. Dress up, meaning to wear formal or special attire for an event. To wear formal or special attire for an event. The invitation says to dress up for the costume party. The invitation says to dress up for the costume party. Drop in, meaning to visit briefly or unexpectedly. To visit briefly or unexpectedly. Feel free to drop in at the party anytime. Feel free to drop in at the party anytime. Break up, meaning to end or disband a party or gathering. To end or disband a party or gathering. The police had to break up the noisy party. The police had to break up the noisy party. Hold onto, meaning to retain or keep possession of something. To retain or keep possession of something. Hold on to your drink. We're heading to the dance floor. Hold on to your drink. We're heading to the dance floor. Blow out, meaning to extinguish candles or celebrate a birthday by blowing out candles. To extinguish candles or celebrate a birthday by blowing out candles. Let's sing happy birthday and blow out the candles. Let's sing happy birthday and blow out the candles. Warm up, to prepare for an event or party by socializing or getting into the mood. To prepare for an event or party by socializing or getting into the mood. We'll warm up with some games before the main party starts. We'll warm up with some games before the main party starts. Hang around, meaning to stay or linger in a place without a specific purpose. To stay or linger in a place without a specific purpose. People tend to hang around the snack table at parties. People tend to hang around the snack table at parties. Cheer on, meaning to express support or encouragement, especially for a performer or team. To express support or encouragement, especially for a performer or team. Let's cheer on the birthday girl and make this party unforgettable. Let's cheer on the birthday girl and make this party unforgettable. Rip off, meaning to remove quickly or tear off, often used for wrapping or packaging. To remove quickly or tear off, often used for wrapping or packaging. Let's rip off the wrapping paper and see what's inside. Let's rip off the wrapping paper and see what's inside. Pick up, meaning to collect or gather someone or something, often used for guests. To collect or gather someone or something, often used for guests. I'll pick up some snacks on the way to the party. I'll pick up some snacks on the way to the party. Clean up, meaning to tidy or remove clutter after a party or event. To tidy or remove clutter after a party or event. We'll need to clean up the place after the party is over. We'll need to clean up the place after the party is over. Liven up, meaning to make something more exciting or lively. To make something more exciting or lively. Let's liven up the party with some upbeat music. Let's liven up the party with some upbeat music. Bring in, meaning to introduce or include something new or different. To introduce or include something new or different. We decided to bring in a magician to entertain at the party. We decided to bring in a magician to entertain at the party. Turn down, meaning to decline an invitation or request. To decline an invitation or request. Unfortunately, she had to turn down the invitation to the party. Unfortunately, she had to turn down the invitation to the party. Hang on, meaning to wait for a moment or hold briefly. To wait for a moment or hold briefly. Hang on. I'll be right back with more drinks for the party. Hang on. I'll be right back with more drinks for the party. Pull together, meaning to collaborate or work as a team to organize an event. To collaborate or work as a team to organize an event. We all need to pull together to make this party a success. We all need to pull together to make this party a success. Break into, meaning to start an activity suddenly, often used for dancing. To start an activity suddenly, often used for dancing. The guests couldn't resist and started to break into a dance. The guests couldn't resist and started to break into a dance. Pop in, meaning to visit briefly or unexpectedly. To visit briefly or unexpectedly. Feel free to pop in for a quick visit to the party. Feel free to pop in for a quick visit to the party. Run out, meaning to deplete the supply of something. To deplete the supply of something. We've run out of snacks at the party, but the music is still going strong. We've run out of snacks at the party, but the music is still going strong. Crank up, meaning To increase the intensity or volume, often used for music. To increase the intensity or volume, often used for music. Crank up the speakers. Let's have a dance party. Crank up the speakers. Let's have a dance party. Chow down. Chow down. Meaning, to eat a large quantity of food enthusiastically. To eat a large quantity of food enthusiastically. Let's chow down on some delicious appetizers and enjoy the party vibes. Let's chow down on some delicious appetizers and enjoy the party vibes. Split up. Split up. Meaning, to separate or disperse, often used for groups. To separate or disperse, often used for groups. The friends decided to split up and explore different areas of the party. The friends decided to split up and explore different areas of the party. Put together. Put together. Meaning, to organize or assemble something, often used for events. To organize or assemble something, often used for events. It took weeks to put together the details for the surprise party. It took weeks to put together the details for the surprise party. Hand around. Hand around. Meaning, to pass something, often used for drinks or snacks. To pass something, often used for drinks or snacks. Hand around the appetizers. Everyone should try them. Hand around the appetizers. Everyone should try them. Dress down. Dress down. Meaning, to wear casual or informal attire. To wear casual or informal attire. The invitation says to dress down for the laid-back beach party. The invitation says to dress down for the laid-back beach party. Strike up. Strike up. Meaning, to start a conversation or relationship. To start a conversation or relationship. It's easy to strike up a conversation at a small, friendly party. It's easy to strike up a conversation at a small, friendly party. Wrap up. Wrap up. Meaning, to conclude or finish an event. To conclude or finish an event. Let's wrap up the party with a group photo. Let's wrap up the party with a group photo. Tear down. Tear down. Meaning, to demolish or destroy a structure. To demolish or destroy a structure. We decided to tear down the old shed to make space for a new garden. We decided to tear down the old shed to make space for a new garden. Fix up. Fix up. Meaning, to renovate or repair something. To renovate or repair something. They're planning to fix up their kitchen by installing new cabinets and work surfaces. They're planning to fix up their kitchen by installing new cabinets and work surfaces. Spruce up, spruce up, meaning to improve the appearance of a room or area, often cleaning and decorating. To improve the appearance of a room or area, often cleaning and decorating. We need to spruce up the living room before the guests arrive. We need to spruce up the living room before the guests arrive. Patch up, patch up, meaning to mend or repair something, often temporarily. To mend or repair something, often temporarily. After the heavy rain, they had to patch up the roof to prevent any further leaks into the house. After the heavy rain, they had to patch up the roof to prevent any further leaks into the house. Knock down, meaning to completely demolish a structure. To completely demolish a structure. They decided to knock down the interior wall to create a more open floor plan in their home. They decided to knock down the interior wall to create a more open floor plan in their home. Deck out, meaning to decorate or furnish a space elaborately. To decorate or furnish a space elaborately. She plans to deck out the living room with new curtains and pillows for a fresh look. She plans to deck out the living room with new curtains and pillows for a fresh look. Clear out, meaning to remove clutter or unnecessary items from a room or space. To remove clutter or unnecessary items from a room or space. They're planning to clear out the guest room to make it more welcoming for visitors. They're planning to clear out the guest room to make it more welcoming for visitors. Wire up, meaning to install electrical wiring or connect electrical components. To install electrical wiring or connect electrical components. An electrician will wire up the new light fixtures in the kitchen. An electrician will wire up the new light fixtures in the kitchen. Screw in, meaning to attach something using screws. To attach something using screws. She had to screw in the legs of the table before it was ready to use. She had to screw in the legs of the table before it was ready to use. Pop out, meaning to remove something from its position, often by force. To remove something from its position, often by force. I had to pop out the old tiles in the bathroom before installing new ones. I had to pop out the old tiles in the bathroom before installing new ones. Hook up, meaning to connect appliances or equipment to a power source. To connect appliances or equipment to a power source. I'll hook up the dishwasher to the electrical supply in the afternoon. I'll hook up the dishwasher to the electrical supply in the afternoon. Seal off. Seal off. Meaning, to close or block access to an area or room. To close or block access to an area or room. To prevent pests from entering the kitchen, they decided to seal off all the cracks and crevices. To prevent pests from entering the kitchen, they decided to seal off all the cracks and crevices. Hang up. Hang up. Meaning, to mount or attach something to a wall. To mount or attach something to a wall. I need to hang up the new mirror in the bathroom. I need to hang up the new mirror in the bathroom. Bolt down. Bolt down. Meaning, to secure something firmly in place using bolts. To secure something firmly in place using bolts. They decided to bolt down the heavy bookshelves to the wall to prevent them from tipping over. They decided to bolt down the heavy bookshelves to the wall to prevent them from tipping over. Drain out. Drain out. Meaning, to remove liquid from a container or area. To remove liquid from a container or area. We need to drain out the water from the pool for maintenance. We need to drain out the water from the pool for maintenance. Rip up. Rip up. Meaning, to tear something into pieces or remove it completely. To tear something into pieces or remove it completely. They had to rip up the old carpet to reveal the hardwood flooring underneath. They had to rip up the old carpet to reveal the hardwood flooring underneath. Plug in. Plug in. Meaning, to connect an electrical device to an outlet. To connect an electrical device to an outlet. They need to plug in the power drill to start assembling the furniture. They need to plug in the power drill to start assembling the furniture. Cut out. Cut out. Meaning, to remove a section or part of something. To remove a section or part of something. We need to cut out a hole in the wall for the new air conditioning unit. We need to cut out a hole in the wall for the new air conditioning unit. Set up. Set up. Meaning, to assemble or arrange something for use. To assemble or arrange something for use. They plan to set up the new home theatre system in the living room. They plan to set up the new home theatre system in the living room. Turn off. Turn off. Meaning, to deactivate a device or appliance. To deactivate a device or appliance. Before replacing the light fixture, be sure to turn off the power at the main source. Before replacing the light fixture, be sure to turn off the power at the main source. Turn on. Turn on. Meaning, to activate a device or appliance. To activate a device or appliance. Don't forget to turn on the air conditioning before it gets too hot. Don't forget to turn on the air conditioning before it gets too hot. Wire in. Wire in. Meaning, to connect something using electrical wires. To connect something using electrical wires. I'll wire in the new ceiling fan in the living room. I'll wire in the new ceiling fan in the living room. Lock up. Lock up. Meaning, to secure a building or room by locking all the doors and windows. To secure a building or room by locking all the doors and windows. They always lock up their tools in the garage to keep them safe. They always lock up their tools in the garage to keep them safe. Screw down. Screw down. Meaning, to secure something in place using screws, often to prevent movement. To secure something in place using screws, often to prevent movement. They decided to screw down the loose floorboards to prevent tripping hazards. They decided to screw down the loose floorboards to prevent tripping hazards. Dig up. Dig up. Meaning, to excavate or remove something from the ground. To excavate or remove something from the ground. The gardeners had to dig up the flower beds to replace the soil. The gardeners had to dig up the flower beds to replace the soil. Cement in. Cement in. Meaning, to secure something in place using cement or concrete. To secure something in place using cement or concrete. The workers need to cement in the tiles. The workers need to cement in the tiles. Hammer in. Hammer in. Meaning, to insert nails or screws into a surface using a hammer. To insert nails or screws into a surface using a hammer. She needed to hammer in the picture hooks to hang the artwork. She needed to hammer in the picture hooks to hang the artwork. Paint over. Paint over. Meaning, to apply a new layer of paint on top of an existing painted surface or material. To apply a new layer of paint on top of an existing painted surface or material. They decided to paint over the old wallpaper to freshen up the room. They decided to paint over the old wallpaper to freshen up the room. Freshen up. Freshen up. Meaning, to improve the appearance of a space, making minor changes. To improve the appearance of a space, making minor changes. Let's freshen up the living room by adding some vibrant artwork and fresh flowers. Let's freshen up the living room by adding some vibrant artwork and fresh flowers. Lift up, lift up, meaning to raise something to a higher position. To raise something to a higher position. We'll need to lift up the heavy furniture to clean underneath. We'll need to lift up the heavy furniture to clean underneath. Screw on, screw on, meaning to attach something by twisting it onto a threaded surface. To attach something by twisting it onto a threaded surface. To install the new cabinet handles, you'll need to screw on each knob to the drawers and doors. To install the new cabinet handles, you'll need to screw on each knob to the drawers and doors. Tape off, tape off, meaning to cover or protect an area with tape before painting or working. To cover or protect an area with tape before painting or working. Let's tape off the edges of the wall before we start painting. Let's tape off the edges of the wall before we start painting. Put up, meaning to assemble or install something like shelves, curtains, or decorations. They decided to put up a new set of blinds in the bedroom. They decided to put up a new set of blinds in the bedroom. Finish off, meaning to complete the final touches or remaining tasks in a home improvement project. To complete the final touches or remaining tasks in a home improvement project. I'll need to finish off the painting in the living room this weekend. I'll need to finish off the painting in the living room this weekend.